is Whisper Sister, and this is another Whisper Rune reading video, this time for Country Whispers. And this is another sort of general overview kind of reading. No specific issue was mentioned, so this is just to offer a little bit of insight, hopefully, and see if it's applicable to anything that's going on in your life at the moment. I hope it will be. So let's get started. Alright. That's cool. Your overview is the blank rune. Now, hang on, let me try the other ones. Okay. Oops. Yeah, it was that way. That's your challenge and the action called for. Is alright. Okay. So I just want to quickly say one thing before I start reading the interpretations. Oh, God. Gotta stop chewing my fingers. I'm sorry, that's really gross. Okay. Okay, the blank rune here is, there's some debate over whether or not that's actually a valid rune. And this book that I use, the Book of Runes by Ralph Bloom, as I've mentioned, it's sort of this guy's interpretation on the runes, so it's not the standard traditional meanings necessarily, although there is a lot of overlap. And for me, it's worked fine so far. Like, it's just, it whether or not it's the traditional meanings, it's always given me very relevant stuff to think about, and so I'm happy with this book for now. But yeah, he has this, in addition to the 24 symbols, he's got a blank rune, which, according to some, real people who study the runic alphabet traditionally don't agree with, but for our purposes, I'm going to go ahead and count it. And it's actually a very interesting rune to have as your overview. Hoping it'll be relevant. Alright, so this is the unknowable and the divine. Okay, so this is the overview of your situation. Blank is the end, and blank the beginning. This is the rune of total trust, and should be taken as exciting evidence of your most immediate contact with your own true destiny, which time and again rises like the phoenix from the ashes of what we call fate. The appearance of this rune can portend a death, but that death is usually symbolic and may relate to any part of your life as you are living it now. Relinquishing control is the ultimate challenge for the spiritual warrior. Here, the unknowable informs you that it is in motion in your life. In the blankness is held undiluted potential. At the same time, both pregnant and empty, this rune comprehends the totality of being, all that is to be actualized. Drawing the blank rune may bring to the surface our deepest fears. Will I fail? Will I be abandoned? Will it all be taken away? And yet our highest good, our truest possibilities, and all our fertile dreams are held within that blankness. Willingness and permitting are what this rune requires, for how can you exercise is a direct test of fate. Drawing it is a direct test of faith. Big difference, I guess. The unknowable represents the path of karma, the sum total of your actions and their consequences, the lessons that are yours for this lifetime. And yet this rune teaches that the very depths of old karma shift and evolve as you shift and evolve. Nothing is predestined. What beckons is the creative power of the unknown. Whenever you draw the blank rune, take heart. Know that the work of self-change is progressing in your life. So that's exciting. I hope that's accurate for you and has some kind of meaning. Your challenge is Kano or Kano reversed. So once again, I'm going to read the upright interpretation and then the reversed interpretation. Okay. So this is your challenge. Now I'm going to read the reversed one first in this case. So this is what you've drawn. What I've drawn for you. Alright. Expect a darkening of the light in some situation or relationship. A friendship may be dying, a partnership, a marriage, or some aspect of yourself that is no longer appropriate to the person you are becoming. Reversed, this rune points to the death of a way of being that is no longer valid and puts you on notice that failure to face up consciously to that death would constitute a loss of opportunity. Kano reversed calls for giving up gladly the old and being prepared to live for a time empty. It calls for developing inner stability and carries the warning not to be seduced by the momentum of old ways while waiting for the new to become illuminated in their proper time. Okay, so that's the reversed, and I'm going to read the upright, which basically offers another angle, I guess. One that I guess if you can be diligent in what the reversed, just like if you can be cautious, and it's not like it's a test, but I guess it's like, I don't know why I find it so hard to describe the relationship between the reversed and the upright as I understand it, but basically this is sort of like, if you kind of get through that, then this might be what you experience, if that makes any sense. And keep in mind, this is all your challenge at the moment. Okay, so upright, Kano is the rune of opening and renewed clarity, of dispelling the darkness that has been shrouding some part of your life. You are free now, both to receive gifts and to know the joy of non-attached giving. Kano is the rune for the morning of activities, for seriousness, clear intent, and concentration, all of which are essential at the beginning of any endeavor. One of the 13 cycle runes, the protection offered by Kano, is this. The more light you have, the better you can see what is trivial and outmoded in your own conditioning. In relationships, there can now be a mutual opening up, which you may trigger and set in motion through your awareness that the light of understanding is once again available to you both. Recognize that while on the one hand you are limited and dependent, on the other you exist at the perfect center, where the harmonious and I've never seen this word before. Beneficent, this word. Interesting. Okay, sorry. Forces of the universe merge and radiate. You are that center. Let me read that again. Recognize that while on the one hand you are limited and dependent, on the other you exist at the perfect center, where the harmonious forces of the universe merge and radiate. You are that center. Simply put, if you have been operating in the dark, there's now enough light to see that the patient on the operating table is yourself. Okay, so I guess that sounds to me like you've got a choice. There may be some aspect of your life, or a relationship, or a habit, maybe, that you need to let go of and outgrow in order to continue in your own kind of evolution and development. And if you're willing to let that go and take the chance and face up to, letting the old kind of pass away, then, it'll bring a new clarity to your life, and you'll be able to see things more, more clearly, including yourself. That's kind of what I get from that. So that's your challenge. Now, the action called for, is Teiwaz, which is the warrior. Page 120 on the next page. Alright. So this is your action called for. This is the rune of the spiritual warrior. Always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. Funding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes. Remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, the extraneous. And yet with the warrior rune comes certain knowledge that the universe always has the first move. Patience is the virtue of this rune, and it recalls the words of St. Augustine, that the reward of patience is patience. Here you are asked to look within, to delve down to the foundations of life itself. Only in doing so can you hope to meet the deepest needs of your nature and tap into your most profound resources. The molding of character is at issue when you draw Teiwaz. Associated with this rune are the sun, masculine energy, the active principle. The urge for conquest is powerful here, especially self-conquest, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single-mindedness, and the willingness to undergo your passage with compassion and in total trust. When this rune comes in response to a relationship issue, it indicates that the relationship... I hate that, I'm sorry. When this rune comes in response to a relationship issue, it indicates that the relationship is both timely and providential. The bond is a real one. There is work for you to do together. If the issue concerns devotion to a cause, an idea, or a path of conduct, the warrior rune counsels perseverance, although at times the kind of perseverance called for is patience. A rune of courage and dedication. In ancient times, Teiwaz was the glyph that warriors painted on their shields before battle. Now, the same symbol strengthens your resolve to align the self with the self. That's a pretty common theme in this book, is the big self, little self. Meaning, I guess it kind of means align your actions and your thoughts with what you know on a deeper level to be right. And when I say right, I mean the best course of action for you to produce the best results that you want. Okay, so there's your reading. I hope it has some relevance. To me, it's a pretty exciting reading. It kind of indicates that you may be sort of standing on the cusp of a lot of changes and a lot of growth. If right now your life is sort of illustrated by the blank rune, that's kind of like, a blank slate.